Hey there guys, it's me, Jimmy Hoppa from Import Gaming for the win, here with a new video, but it's a pickups video. I don't really do them very often, but I got something really cool, and I probably put it in the thumbnail or the title somewhere, but I got my holy grail of video games. And so that's one reason why I wanted to do this pickups video. But I also wanted to do something last year, which was my top 100 gaming finds of 2017. But since I never got around to doing that, I figure I'd do it in 2018, and here I am. But since it's June, it's only half the year, I'm gonna do 50. So the 50 best finds, or I think most interesting finds, of the first half of 2018, and then somewhere in the end of the year I'll do the other 50. Maybe in winter, in December. But yeah, so this is gonna be 50 of the kind of cool things that I think I've found over the year so far. I haven't really been game shopping too much, but I had enough to at least get 50. And yeah, basically what I'll do is any of the finds that I got from the two pickups videos I did earlier this year, which is the Dragon's Crown Pro Royal Package Famitsu Deluxe Pack or whatever, and everything from that Surugaya box pickups. I'm just gonna kind of keep that out of this video. Surely they would have been in this video, but if you're interested in seeing those, if you like pickups videos or import gaming, whatever, check those out. And yeah, well, anyways, before I begin, let me put this little mat here, get rid of that annoying glare. And I got a lot of games to go through. I would say like out of the 50, about half of them are actually game software or hardware, and the other half are just kind of like books and figurines and stuff like that, gaming related kind of merchandise. So there's a pretty good mix of things in there, and yeah, I guess I'll just get started because I keep talking so much during these things. Before I start, kind of calm the nerves, little baby Asahi beer. I think I'm just here talking to myself, so see, already got an effect from that Asahi. We'll drink that real quick. First off, I'm just going to start off with the Holy Grail, the best thing, and just kind of explain why it's important to me. I was going to save it for last, but let me blow my load a little early, and kind of want to get that out of the way so people can see it, and I can give a nice shout out to the guy who helped me get it. And that would be a Super Famicom game that goes by Magical Poppin'. And Magical Poppin' is a wonderfully cute, colorful, fun platforming action game for the Super Famicom, published by, was it Pack-in Video, who did a lot of kind of minor releases, and I think developed by Polestar. But this is a game that I never thought I'd own, and I just, for one thing, it's one of the rarest Super Famicom games in existence, and I actually never seen it in person until maybe less than a year ago, because I never see it in Akihabara. A few of them popped up here and there, but the prices for this are crazy. Like complete in box, I've seen it from like $700 to $2,000, and yeah, it's one of the hardest to find games for the system. And my buddy Michael over at the Space Asylum channel, which can't shout the guy out enough. In fact, I shouted him out in that 5 YouTube channels under 1,000 subs video. He helped me get this game because he found this a few years ago. It was much cheaper than it's going for now in Akihabara, and I figured he's not really playing it and he doesn't really care to have it too much, so I sent him a big box of Vita stuff. He's a big PlayStation Vita guy. Definitely recommend checking out his channel. And he thought it was a fair trade. I thought it was for me, I was very happy coming out with this, and yeah. So thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate it. I love you, buddy. Don't tell your wife. Don't get into any fights. I heard she gets like that. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at this game real quick. And got a little plastic case. I only have one other Super Famicom game with the plastic case, and that's Gurume Sentai Barayaro. But you see the top is a little bit sun-fitted, but I don't care about that. The back over here. Oh, look at that. Yoshikuzo. It has a little voice from this lady here. And, you know, I'll just open up and talk about it, but the reason why this is my holy grail of gaming, or it was, now I have it, so, is because of this lady on the back. And I don't know how to say this without coming across as a complete weirdo, but hey, if you're on this channel, you already know it. But when I was a young teenage boy, I discovered this woman from a comic book called Time Traveler I. Just randomly found. I thought the cover looked good, so I picked it up. I actually had a subscription to comics back then. Put that over there. And I discovered this woman. I don't know. I just fell in love with her for many years. I won't go into her story too much, but yeah, former adult entertainment actress, broke out of that, and became a TV personality and author. Her book, semi-autobiography, kind of fiction, when they made a movie out of it. And yeah, just young 14-year-old Jimmy Hoppa was just really in love with her. And I always wanted to meet her, but unfortunately when I moved to Japan, she died within like a year of me moving here. It's like in 2008, of pneumonia. I've read online that there's some Alexa Jones type conspiracies out there that say that the American CIA murdered her, but I don't know, I think she died of pneumonia. Some people say she might have died of AIDS. But Ai Jima, well, that's her name. And you know, shame I never met her, but I still got a crush on her, what can I say? But here you go, Magical Pop-In for the Super Famicom. Amazing, amazing find. I'm so happy. Again, thank you so much to Michael for this. And yeah, this is the fact that I'm holding this in my hands. I gotta be a little bit more careful. It's just something I never really thought I'd have. And I actually did have a, I do still have a repro of it. It's the only repro I've picked up consciously. And I don't know, I played it for like 20 minutes. I just felt weird playing a repro. But yeah, it's just it's hard to find a game. As far as the game itself, it controls great, has great music, beautiful, colorful graphics, good personality, good AI. I mean, the characters will actually kind of defend and fight back against your attacks. But unfortunately, very easy, especially the bosses. And I actually played through it my first try, beat it. So I would do a video on this, but I think everybody already knows about it. So since it's such a, you know, there's an English translation, not that it really needs it, and the repros are pretty much everywhere. So I don't know, maybe I'll do like games with IEG on it, because I've got a few other games that she did things, you know, with. But anyways, that was the first thing. Magical Pop-In, I'll put that right over there. Hope I don't crush it with some of the other stuff. Next thing I'm going to talk about is this, which is a, you instantly notice, it's Valkyrie from the from Namco's Valkyrie series. Warukure no Bouken Toki no Kage Densetsu. Handy board game. So this is actually a board game from it's a very old board game, the Adventure of Valkyrie series, and well, the Adventure of Valkyrie game. It's before Legend was a thing, and I've wanted this for a few years now. I saw that in Super Potato in Akihabara. They had a, I don't know if it was the full set, but a box of it over on their floor with all the guides and stuff. And I asked the guy at the counter, I was like, "Hey, is that for sale?" And he's like, "No." And they had a little sign to it, like, "Not for sale" or something. But yeah, I've always wanted it, but I've never actually been able to see it anywhere I've searched for. But I did see it on Yahoo Auctions. That's where I bought this, and this was probably, out of all the things I bought here, probably the most expensive thing. The other stuff was pretty cheap comparatively, but here you go. Little pieces here, little different items. Little kirara over there, swords, kind of cards with some of the monsters in it. I think you gotta level up and fight these monsters. Marvel Land. It's different areas of the Marvel Land. Little Satan Zona cards. Here's the pieces of Valkyrie. Different colors in the game. No, I don't think yellow was a color in the actual game, nor was red, but yeah, no white or pink. And those were options in the game. Little play notes. So I guess how to play the game. This actually folds out this way. I've not really played this. I've actually only gotten this kind of recently, so not had a real chance to kind of look over it and play it or anything. And plus, I don't have anybody I know who'd want to play it with me. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Everything's in really great shape, and it's all complete. Here's the game board. Alright. As you can see, it's a little bit old. It's got a little bit of that weird discoloration, but I don't really care about that too much. Shows it's got history. And I usually put these things, these maps, I guess there's a left, right, and a middle section. And a little dungeon card. So, I don't know, it looks like a really pretty involved game for like an old board game. There you go. In the back you got little enemy. I don't know if you can see, I'm kind of looking through the lens and not through the lens. There you go, Black Sandras. Yeah, so kind of neat. I wish my camera could zoom out a little bit more so I could show the whole thing together. Maybe I'll take a picture of it later. But yeah, just kind of neat. Here's actually a full map of Marvel Land. And there you go. Some little dungeon. South Pyramid and I don't know, looks like Zona's maze or labyrinth. So kind of cool. For a fan of Valkyrie, this is a must-have thing. Unfortunately, like I said, it's very hard to find, and when you do, it's kind of pricey. Expect to pay like about $100 for it. But you know, I'm a big Valkyrie fan. I have my three loves when it comes to collecting: Valkyrie stuff, Suikoden stuff, and Ganbare Goemon stuff. And unfortunately, all those things are kind of hard to get stuff for. But yeah, I'll just try to stick this in here. If you've not seen my video on the adventure of Valkyrie, I hope you check it out. I think it holds up okay. Legend was a little bit better, but I gotta finish that this year. So fingers crossed that I finish all the Valkyrie games this year. Next thing, take a look at this. See if we can get that in the camera. This is Game Classics Volume 2, I think, from Union Creative. This is Beat from Jet Set Radio. Sorry for the glare. If you can look over here. Yeah, the original Jet Set Radio, not the future version. But Union Creative, I don't know if they did a third volume, but the first thing they did was Arthur from the Makaimura Ghosts and Goblins series, and Volume 2 is Beat from Jet Set Radio. Wish there was a gum one, but I do like Beat. Wish I had that shirt. And yeah, this is actually something I pre-ordered. I don't ever really pre-order anything, but yeah, definitely pre-ordered this. Have I opened it yet? Looks like I've not opened it. Wow, okay. You know what? Let's see if I can slice this thing open. Let me grab something real quick. Alright, that was a little adventure, but I got myself a little fruit knife. Stainless steel, made in Japan. And let's go ahead and open up this Beat and take a look at it for ourselves. But I really like the package design on this thing. And unfortunately, even though I pre-ordered this, I don't know if you can see, kind of box is beaten up. And I got that from the store, and I was a little bit surprised, because usually Japanese stores kind of, if they have like a beat up box like this, they might give you a discount or something, but I guess Soft Map, where I got it from, didn't really care. This is the kind of the base and everything, and is there more tape I can pull out? Nope. So, different kind of hands. Oop. Little graffiti. And I don't know, I hope this figure looks pretty cool. I hope they make more of these. Let's just pull this one out. I'm interested to see what they have, because it's kind of a weird second volume. I guess I get Arthur, but there you go, a little Beat. A little posable. Gonna head over here. I like that they modeled him after kind of like the Dreamcast model, instead of just like regular old artwork. So kind of like this blocky little polygon looking guy. But yeah, pretty cool. Well, these things don't move, that's okay though. Yeah, I guess since I've opened it now, I guess I'll put it somewhere for display, and yeah, cool. But Beat, Jet Set Radio. That's another series that I wish they had more collectible things for. I'd love to buy one of those shirts. Alright, next thing. Let me check one thing over here. Okay, still recording, good. Next thing is, I gotta put on my soy face. I got Bayonetta Infinite, or was it Non-Stop Climax Edition for the Nintendo Switch. And this is put this stick carefully over here. I'll crush that to get that full thing in the box, in the frame. Bayonetta Non-Stop Climax Edition for the Switch, which is Bayonetta 1 and 2, which nothing special, right? But what it is it comes with a physical copy of the original Bayonetta on the Switch, which was something you couldn't get at retail. You just get like download cards, or just download it from the shop itself. So I think there was a version of this released in Europe. I think the box is slightly different. Of course, it doesn't have Japanese on it. But yeah, let's just open it up. Actually, I wanted to do an unboxing of this when I got it as well, but I saw some fella already put it out online, like an hour after it got released. So I was like, not worth it. If you look on the side, kind of cool little tiny kind of design things here. Little Matryoshka dolls, I guess. And I think on the inside they got little VMU looking, yeah, there you go, VMU looking kind of portraits of some of the characters in the game. So I like when the packaging has little touches like this. I really appreciate that. Put that on the side. And here you go, the game's right here. Bayonetta. I think there's some stickers inside here. Yep, some stickers. And that's what you get it for. You get the little Switch cartridge that you take home and you lick before you put in the system, right? You get a little steel book, Bayonetta 1 and 2. Pop this open. Very shiny, very nice. I think, let me take a look at this real quick. Yeah, there you go. So there's little two slots for it, and I don't know, is there a manual? I don't think there's a manual, but slots for that. And then you go, Nintendo and Steelbook, and I guess Steelbook is a trademarked thing. Steelbook.com, I had no idea. Thought it was just a generic term. But yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't think I'd use the Steelbook. Maybe if I put it on display, but it's kind of nice having these Switch games here, like that. In the regular cases. Bayonetta 2. Yeah, no manual, but a nice design. I like. One thing I like about Switch games is that a lot of them tend to have the artwork in the inside part of the case, and that's kind of cool. Very quick in the cart. Not that it's a big deal. And you know, Bayonetta, it's a cool game and all. I love Platinum games. I love Vanquish. But you know, I've not really played Bayonetta too much. I got this because I want to play through 1 and 2, but I had it for Xbox 360, and I don't know. I got to a part and I kind of lost interest, and I tried to boot up the Switch game. Got to the same part and I kind of lost interest, but maybe I'll give it another try. I don't think much has changed from the Wii U versions, but you know, other than maybe it runs a little bit better. Who knows? It's on Switch, so it's automatically cooler for some people. And here's some tarot cards, and I don't think there's going to be anywhere near as cool as the Tactics Ogre PSP ones that got released with those. But here we go. I don't know. I don't really know what this all means, but they're shiny, and they feel like they're nice quality. So if you're into that, that's great. But anyway, yeah, Bayonetta 1 and 2, non-stop Climax edition for the Switch. Get this out of the way. Okay, and well, you know, I'll go ahead and take a look at these little dinky things I got. Just put them down right over here. You got yourself a Ulala from Space Channel 5. It's an Aruru from Puyo Puyo and Maru Monogatari. Got a NiER from Phantasy Star 2. And okay, she's actually standing up. I think it's Sarah Bryant from Virtual Fighter. This is going to be a pain to get her to stand, but Red Ring Rico from Phantasy Star Online, and I'll see if I can get her to actually stand. She doesn't have a traditional base. You got to balance her knee. It's there you go, it worked. If it falls over, yeah, there you go. If it falls over, we'll screw it. And then this girl, which I don't even know her name, but I'll take a look at it later. But she's from a game called Arabian Flight, which is a cool-looking Sega beat-em-up game that was only on the arcades. And I don't know, it's cool art style to it. But yeah, these are the Sega Gals Gashapon, which is the little crank-up machines. Sega Gals collection. This is the first volume. And let's take a look at that girl's name. Ramaya? Okay. But yeah, these are just some of Sega's more popular female characters. These were just little crank-up machine figurines that you'd get. 200 yen a pop. 6 types plus a little kind of secret one. And the secret one was actually Ulala's white costume. And which I'll probably pick that up at some time. But now that I have this, I have all the standard Sega Gals, which I do have Volume 2. Which comes with, let me see if there's any notable ones. Girl from Monster World 4. And I know like Tyrus Flare, whatever, from Golden Axe. Some pretty good ones. I think Honey from Fighting Vipers. I believe her name's Honey. Cute girl. But yeah, kind of a cool set. Some other stuff that I'm not really interested in. I think there's like a Ranger from Phantasy Star. I guess I'll probably show a picture of everything here later on. I'll just take a picture. But yeah, kind of cool to have. And you know, for Gashapon, they're pretty detailed. Their faces don't look too funny. That's all you can really care about. Really like this one, this Ariru Puyo Puyo one. Unfortunately, just because of the material it's made out of, it's kind of sticky. NiER and Red Ring Rico I used to have, and got rid of those years ago, but I'm glad to have these again. And yeah, Ulala looking pretty cool. Pretty excited about, I guess there's Space Channel VR or something coming out. But yeah, those are some Sega Gals figures. Let me get this out of the way, and Lala's ponytail popped off. And her arm. What a disaster. Alright, next thing, and this is Sega related too, is Sega figurine. Here's a Shenmue figure, and I'm sure if Shenmue fans have seen this figure or actually have this figure from 1999 or 1998, but I think it came out in 99. And it's just like a promotional figurine of Shenhua from Shenmue. And I don't really know exactly why this was made. I don't know if it was a pre-order bonus or something they gave away at events. I'm sure somebody in the chat will let me know, or somebody in the comment section. A little warning. And here's the figure. It's very, as you can probably tell from here, it's not the most detailed figure. It doesn't really look like her too much in the face, nor does it look like her artwork. Kind of looks a little frumpy, not gonna lie, but that's cool. You know, I love Shenmue, and this is something that I remember seeing way back in the day on eBay and wanting. But actually, I'll just put this over here. But kind of cool. I wish I had the forklift. Go on the forklift. That I think it was a promo for Sega All Stars Racing or something like that. But I think that's pretty hard to find these days. Alright, next thing, which is also Shenmue related. Here is a VHS copy of Shenmue, the movie. And I think in the States we got this with Shenmue 2. It was a little like bonus DVD disc that was just kind of like all the events of Suikoden. Shenmue 1 kind of put together and drawn into a narrative. I think it got released in theaters. I don't remember for sure, but it definitely got released as a VHS, a DVD, and this was a rental copy, which, you know, some people might not like that, but I kind of like that it's a rental copy. Got a little bit of color, sun fading on the spine, but who cares. Unfortunately, this is the Japanese dub version, so it's not the English with Japanese subtitles. I think it was originally released as an English movie with Japanese subs, but whatever. Kind of a cool thing to have. Artport is the person that made it. What's weird about this is there are like 15 minutes of previews for other movies before the thing starts. And there you go, rental. 1 week, so 7 nights and 8 days. And it says over here, don't open, and Kings Road, I guess that's the name of the place that had the rental, and I guess it's just saying like, yeah, if you open it, you can't put it back together. Okay, but yeah, Shenmue the movie. What's cool about the Japanese version of Shenmue though is like the unique dialects that people have, like foreigners, like Tom will speak in this weird broken dialect where it's like English and Japanese and I don't know, maybe Brazilian. All the foreigners at the docks and everything have these funny Japanglish kind of lines. Really cool though, and hope to talk about that Japanese version sometime soon. And related to that, because they're VHS tapes and Dreamcast, there are 2 promotional VHS tapes for the Dreamcast. And yeah, this one is the Dreamcast Goemon video, and this is the Oiri video. And they're basically just showing off the power of the Dreamcast and how good all the games looked. These are like the Spring '99 edition, so the system was very new. And if you look in the back, they have some kind of previews for games, Sonic, Sega Rally, Power Stone. I think the only big difference between these two is that it's mostly the same content and the same trailers, but this one's, I guess, like Goemon's like for beginners or newbies. It's an introduction, and I want to say this is for people who are going to buy the Dreamcast. This kind of seems more like something you play in a store, just because I think at the end this has a little kind of like a free game bonus, and like, oh, if you play this downloadable game, it was like $10, we get it for free during a certain time. And I don't know, there's like some sort of sweepstakes, win some money playing that game, finding stuff in the game. And I think this one has Soul Calibur in it, and this one does not. But I love the some of the previews. The announcer, the narrator for these previews, he cracks me up. He's getting very excited, or as he would say, exciting. But yeah, very fun. But some cool stuff. There's a really long interview with Biohazard for Biohazard Code Veronica, and there's also some Shenmue footage. Yeah, really kind of cool. I might want to put these up for, you know, upload these to YouTube. Something I want to do for a while is just upload, make another channel, like import gameplay footage and music dump. And that'll be like a second channel where I just upload gameplay and music and all this stuff. I want to do it for Oh No a long time ago, but looks like somebody actually uploaded the soundtrack. So anyways, going off on a tangent like usual. The next thing I'll talk about here is, I'll just talk about more toys, why not? And these are more gashapon, but with the actual plastic. And pop one open, take a look at them real quick. They don't really need too much of an explanation, but these are the Nintendo History Collection Super Famicom models. So little mini Super Famicoms and Super Famicom things. As you can see over here, this is the Satellaview system with the cartridge and little adapters and everything. And I got these from the actual machines themselves. I think they were like $2 or $3 a pop. But I ended up getting the whole set. I had an extra one, but I sent that off to a gentleman. Here's one with the Super Game Boy 2. And another Super Famicom. I think they actually have the model names on them too. Let's see. Most of them just come with games. Here's one with a regular Super Game Boy. If you see over there, they have little games in them too. You can pop out. I think you could pop it out. Maybe. I'll take a look at it later. This video is going to be kind of long. My apologies. And here's one, I think, with the Super Scope. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of broken up. Super Scope, mouse. I'm going to guess it has Mario Paint. It has Super Scope 6, and yeah, there you go, Mario Paint cartridges. And the last one is probably just the standard Super Mario World, maybe Zelda. There you go. So, standard Super Famicom. I think did I have a Junior? Let me take a look at that real quick. There you go. Yeah, Super Mario World, and there you go, Legend of Zelda. Triforce of the Gods. And yeah, let me take a look, because I'm just kind of... I guess they didn't have a Super Famicom Junior model? Unless I missed it. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, I'll take a picture of these later, kind of lined up next to each other. And yeah, I thought they were pretty cool. And unfortunately, they sold out very, very quickly. Or else I would have held on to some for people. And that was one of those capsules falling down. Alright, next thing I'll talk about is... It's no secret because I've already done a stream featuring this, but I got myself a 3DO, a Panasonic FZ10 3DO Real 3DO interactive multiplayer. And I had a 3DO in the past, but it was a junk 3DO. The wouldn't read CDs. This one works just fine. It's actually in really great shape. Did a little 3DO stream about a month ago. Did a video too on something. I'll talk about that in a second, but last video out. All that stuff. Unfortunately, the junk 3DO I have, which is like the FZ, I think it's just the one, kind of classic Panasonic original model, has a little switch on the back that I learned from My Life in Gaming. You can just switch between 240p and 480i. Unfortunately, this is just 480i. Yeah, little controller. This doesn't have the microphone. I think this model didn't have that, but little controller port too for you to daisy chain and get your controllers all tangled up and really sabotage your friend in the middle of a Street Fighter match. But yeah, pretty cool system. I'm actually very impressed with the 3DO. I've picked up a lot of games for it recently because it's such a cheap system to collect for. I kind of even like the awful games, and yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of impressed with the 3DO. So much better than the CDI. Don't bring that CDI crap here in this channel. But the first one of the games I'll just talk about that I got, and probably if you are regular to this channel you already know, is Dr. Hauzer from Panasonic on the 3DO. And this is one of the first kind of horror games ever made. First fully 3D one. But I won't waste my time talking about it too much because like I said, if you're a regular to this channel, I already did a video talking all about it. Proper review type of retrospective thing, and I really liked it. And actually on that 3DO stream I was talking about, I beat this game, and it's a very short, easy game. But yeah, Dr. Hauzer for the 3DO, very interesting game. Akihiro Hino, main developer, went on to create Level 5. Not Factor 5, unfortunately. Next game I'll talk about here is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, or Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon S. Alright? But this is a fighting game for the 3DO, and actually this is the first 3DO game I ever bought, but I bought it brand new, years ago, and I wanted to talk about it in a video, but I never had a 3DO and I never got around to opening it. So I found a real cheap used copy, under 10 bucks, so I can keep the other one sealed, because I don't have a lot of sealed games. So you can kind of see the manual is a little bit beat up, but well, it doesn't matter. And this is just a standard fighting game for the 3DO. I think the graphics are pretty nice. There you go, nice little moon-looking Pink Moon CD. And the graphics are nice. Played this on that stream the other day as well, and yeah, good, not bad. This is way better than that PlayStation and Saturn Sailor Moon fighting game that got released. Not quite as good as the Super Famicom ones, but I don't know, I'm not a real huge fighting game fan. I wish they would have made more beat 'em ups for these ladies, but you know, you win some, you lose most. But yeah, that's Sailor Moon for 3DO. And the last 3DO game I'll just kind of talk about here anyway is The Doraemons. And this is let's real briefly talk about it. It's a kind of like a point-and-click adventure style game, except you use a controller to move and everything, and rather than clicking on stuff, you have a menu. But very cute, very much like in the spirit of the manga and the TV show. Doraemon's kind of like, he used to be called the Mickey Mouse of Japan, but a little robot from the future that comes and helps a guy's descendant, or would it be a descendant? Yeah, sure. A descendant from screwing up his life and having his family have a screwed up life in the future. Cute, funny, good show, and I think this is about Doraemon trying to find all these little, the Dora Dora 7. These are like these other cat robots that he went to school with, training to be in service of human beings, and he has to go find them. And yeah, they're kind of just like, you know, different kind of countries' representations of little cat robots. I won't go into it too much, but I don't know, maybe I'll do something about it someday. But neat little game, and kind of hard to find. Alright, and next thing is a Neo Geo CD game, which is Top Hunter Roddy and Cathy. It says it's an adventure action game here, and that's pretty much what it is. I have to say it's a straight up kind of side-scrolling action game, but I used to think this was a shooter back in the day, and it kind of has some gunplay elements, but it's kind of a 2D beat 'em up almost. You kind of walk around, punch people, grab them, throw them around. You can stretch your arms out. It's kind of weird. 2-player simultaneous action if you like. Really fun game, colorful, really neat kind of. I think it's just a very pleasant game, something that you would expect from SNK. And I think this was something you could download on the Wii Virtual Console back in the day. You might be able to get it on the Switch, I don't know, or PlayStation 4. But yeah, really cool game. I really dig it. I'm hopefully I have a CDZ, and I guess the best video on that outputs to 240p because it looked really incredible when I was playing it. And yeah, maybe I'll do a Neo Geo CD stream sometime. I have a decent amount of games for it. Nothing too special. I got this and like Sonic Wings 2, so not just fighting games. Next thing. It's another video game. So I gotta go through some video games first and then go into the weirder stuff. Also have a ton of MSX stuff I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. This is Shutsudo Miniska Police, and the Miniskirt Police. And I don't really know what the Miniskirt Police is and was. I think they're still around. It's like an idol group. I don't know if they sing, if they dance, or they just look sexy, but this is the game that I always always wanted for the Saturn. Not just because I'm a weirdo. Oh, look at that. You can kind of tell what the game's all about from that screenshot. Not just because I'm a weirdo, but when I was a kid, I really dug that it came with this little action figure. I had no idea what this was. So go to the game store and be like, what is this game? But basically what it is a collection of mini games, and that's about it. Mini games, some photos, and if you beat a mini game, they're all kind of pervy themed. Oh, look at that spine card. The value has been raised to this by at least $30. Not really. But yeah, it's a collection of mini games, and there's like a shooting game. There's a kind of a top-down racing game. You just move forward. Block kind of Arkanoid game. And you do well in those. You get a little bit of pervy, I guess, panty shots through the games. But at the end, you get treated to a creepy FMV Saturn. I guess it's shots of women's, I guess these gals' legs, crossing them and doing upskirts. Very, very weird and very creepy, but kind of like it. And actually, I hate to say this, but I played so much of this, I think I want to do a video on it. Maybe the first import gaming for the win chibi-sode. But unfortunately, the minigames are very easy. There's a couple of quiz ones that, as long as I don't know who these girls are, but you play it enough, you learn the answers. And the limited edition also came with this little mini CD single, Star Festival, from Mie Nanamori, which I guess she's one of these gals on the cover. I don't know. But yeah, that's Miniskirt Police. Don't judge me too hard. But interesting. Very serious about doing a video. Alright, and I guess this is the last Saturn thing I'll talk about. Not the biggest fan in the series in this world, or whatever. Not the biggest fan of this series in the world. But sorry, looks like I got a message from something. Anyways, back to the video. Rockman 8, or Mega Man 8 for the Sega Saturn. And yeah, that's for a pretty good deal. I think it was like 20 bucks or something. But yeah, this is like the really good version of Mega Man 8. I already have it for PlayStation, and I don't know. I guess this version plays better. I'm not really not really in the know of what's really better about it, but I was actually kind of taken by surprise by this game. I already knew that the US version had that infamous terrible voice acting, especially of Dr. Light. But the voice acting is good in this. It's a little bit too anime type style for me, but gorgeous graphics, really solid gameplay, and like I said, I don't really like the Mega Man games too much. But this is probably my favorite one so far, other than those Legends and Dash games. Those games are awesome. Bring back Rockman Dash 3. But yeah, that's just a very simple game there. Moving away from games for a minute, take a look at this book. Let's get educated. PC Engine Kanzen Guide, or the Complete Guide, 1987 to 1999. Yes, there was like a game or two that was released in 1999. But yeah, it's all 658 titles, and I think these are just the licensed games, including a couple of kind of promotional games. All the bootleg stuff I don't think is covered at all. But basically what it is exactly how it sounds. It's a good guide to everything PC Engine from those years when it was active. Mostly the games though. You get a cool little interview here with Takahashi Meijin, which he's from was it Takahashi Meijin Daigo Kenshima or whatever. Yeah, the Adventure Island games. He's the guy. And apparently he's got a real quick finger. So he tells all the ladies that. But yeah, PC Engine stuff, a little bit of history. The cool thing here is that it has every single game, a little tiny write-up, the release date, and some box art for it. And we'll just kind of go flip through there. I saw Gameplay Torment. Hey, I have that game. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I have that game too! I have to do a video about that sometime soon. But yeah, pretty cool little handy guide. If you're a fan of the PC Engine, I think this is a must-have. And there are a lot of little guides like this here in Japan. There's one for the Famicom that's really cool looking, full color and everything. There's like a Nintendo Complete Guide. Let's see what was it for. There we go. It's a 99 game. Alright, was it Dead of the Brain 1 and 2? I have no idea what that is. Alright, but yeah, that's it. PC Engine Complete Guide. If you're a fan, like I said, you gotta get that guide. Alright, next thing is another book. And this is the Super Famicom Kuso Game Ranking Guide. And Kuso games, or Kusoge, whatever, they're shit games. They're really bad games. So all the bad games in here. And to be honest, they're kind of blowing it up a little bit. These aren't actually the worst games on the system, but most of them are pretty bad. So if they did an actual book where it was just ranking all the bad games, it'd be all, I don't know, Mahjong, and I don't know, what else? Well, for me, sports games. Mahjong and Pachinko games, probably. But yeah, some of these, I don't agree with their rankings. I think one of my some of my favorite games are in here, or some of my not real top favorites, but I think it's Ace on Mirai. It's a nice looking game, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Where is it? But yeah, so some of these, some RPGs there are supposed to be pretty bad. I thought this game was supposed to be pretty good. Day of Idea too, I saw they had earlier. But yeah, they put like Super Ninja-kun, which I have. I thought it was okay. I thought this Kunio-kun remake game or whatever is pretty good. I don't know. I know they put Gourmet Sentai Barayaro in there, and I think that game's pretty damn good too. At least that's what I want to say, since I paid a lot of money for it. Alright. Next thing is a game comic, which is basically just a choose-your-own-adventure comic for Madula no Tsubasa, or The Wing of Madula. And this is based on a Famicom game from Sunsoft that I actually really like, even though it's kind of terrible, to be honest. One of those games, I like these kind of 80s style anime chicks with armor on and swords. It's just, maybe I'm aging myself, but that's kind of my thing. Her, Athena, Tyrus Flare, even though she's got no armor, Valkyrie, kind of sword chicks, you know, the old style. But I actually read through this, and I actually did the adventure, and I died several times. And yeah, just a kind of a neat little thing. Kind of loosely goes over what happens in the game. I mean, it's an old Famicom game, so you don't get much story to it. But I really do want to do a video on this. I have the Famicom game complete in box. I have a PlayStation Sunsoft, I think it's Volume 3, Sunsoft Classic Collection. Really would love to do a video on this someday, but I'm trying to find a nice guide. So not just to play the game and know all the secrets, but to have scans, because there's not a lot of... I like to use a lot of scans of like things in my videos. Like this would be cool if we can scan and put on like the thumbnail, but I would like to have a little bit more visual things before I do a video on it, because then it's just me talking over gameplay footage, and nobody wants that. And I think this is like the last book thing I have here, so for all you people who hate reading, here you go. This is the Gensou Suikoden 1, Volume 1 and 2 comic books, and I just got these because they were really cheap, and I just like Suikoden, so I think this and the last book I just showed were from Surugaya, but yeah, take a look at that. I think there's some scenes in there that when I was a kid, I wanted to see, like fleshing out kind of what happens after Ted gets, I should give spoilers to a game that's over, I think 20 years old now, but yeah, just a little bit of extra scenes. I'm not sure if it goes past Volume 2, makes a so cool picture. I'm sure it does, but I've never seen Volume 3 onward. I know the Suikoden 3 manga was really popular, so you see that all the time, but this one and like Suikoden 2 manga done in this kind of same style, or the same publisher anyway, not too common. One thing that's weird about this that I'll say is that the main character, Mr. McDowell, which is his, you know, TiER is his kind of official kind of name, but he's named Louis McDowell. So Louis or Louis, I don't know. It's kind of a weird choice, especially when his official name, I think, at this point was TiER. So yeah, weird. All right, next thing, and got a little bit of risque things in here, so I got to be careful. So my collection of phone cards. And let me skip to it. And here's a phone card I got for Ganbare Goemon 2, Kiteretsu Shogun Magines. And did a video on this game a long time ago. It's, in my opinion, probably the best Super Famicom Goemon game. Probably the best one, actually, in the series. Not my favorite, but it's up there. And phone cards, these are things you'd use, you know, at phone booths in Japan, and they still have them. They're almost all over the place. But yeah, just slide it in, and yeah, just whenever it runs out, you run out. But yeah, I've used phone cards in the past, but of course I would never use this one. But yeah, I got this real cheap on Yahoo Auction, and it was not something you could really buy. I think it was probably just a promotional item. A lot of video games these days still have, you know, when you pre-order, you have the option to buy a phone card for like $6. And yeah, most of the kind of weeby type of games. I have a lot of, let's kind of look over here real quick. There's a little eye one. It's Galgun and Doronpachi Daifukatsu. This is actually when I pre-ordered these games way back in the day. I opted to get the phone card too, but I don't know. I'm always looking for kind of like phone cardy type stuff for games and for Aijima. So maybe I'll talk about them again someday, but I don't think anybody's interested. Alright, and another Goemon thing. Unfortunately, Goemon things are super hard to find, but this one is not. This is a soundtrack for Ganbare Goemon 2, the very strange General McGinnis. But unfortunately, this is the Pachislot soundtrack. So from those quote-unquote pachinko machines, which they're actually not even pachinko, they're just slot machines with videos on them. But yeah, this is the soundtrack for that, and I believe the music is just remixed versions from the Super Famicom game. Not actually open it, but I will open it right now. So you're getting an extra world-exclusive unboxing video of the Slot Machine Goemon 2 soundtrack. Whew, riveting, riveting. But yeah, here you go. Little spine card. Anything on the other side? Nope. Okay. Oh, that looks like a... It looks like a Sabotender or whatever. Cactuar from Final Fantasy. Yeah, some staff and track listings. Pretty standard. I'll probably be playing some music for this right now during this video or other parts. Gotta love that kabuki aesthetic. And yeah, there you go. Kind of cute. I've actually been looking for this this actual machine. They used to sell them on Amazon, and I actually was about to buy the machine for this actual game on Mercari, and contacting the seller about shipping, he just delisted it. So I don't know, maybe he didn't want Gaijin scum owning his precious Goemon slot machine. But anyways, here's another thing I got. Actually, this was brand new, but I already opened it, and this is the Solatorobo Perfect soundtrack. And I don't know, I think it has like extra tracks from something else to do with this Solatorobo series, but I love, I think it's, what are they called, Little Bronx series, but the Tail Concerto series. And I love this game. It's actually playing through this game is what made me want to start my YouTube channel. So if I had never played through this, I probably would have never made that video about Tail Concerto. Felt inspired to do something with it, you know? And yeah, wonderful music, wonderful gameplay. This is a DS game, but yeah, very much in the Solatorobo series. No real liner notes, kind of. Okay, there you go. Some liner notes, just track names, and yeah, I don't know what any of that is. But there's also a perfect soundtrack for Tail Concerto, and I actually wanted that, but fortunately they're all sold out on Amazon, and I missed the boat on Surugaya because I had it on there for cheap. But yeah, I'll probably play some of this music during the video too, so you can enjoy that. I wish I could do a video on this, but I don't have a DS capture card, and Nintendo never made an option or solution. But what I will do is I have a limited edition of Solatorobo, and I will do a video on that. Oh, forgot about these. These are little keychains from Ganbare Goemon. I got these on Yahoo for a few bucks. And little Goemon, these little Ryo. Here's Ebisumaru with looks like a ball. I don't know. Back for him is not painted. Neither is this Omi-chan one. And Omitsu, Omi-chan. And yeah, it's just hard to find Goemon stuff because there's such a hardcore fan base here in Japan that all the stuff gets either bought up immediately or the prices go for pretty ridiculous amounts. And I've been trying to get stuff like this. Sometimes, not this one, but like certain keychains, like little softy figures. Twice now, the price has gone up to $90 for a tiny little keychain. Very frustrating. But hey, that's first world problems. Next thing is another soundtrack. This is Tactics Ogre, Let Us Clean Together. Fortunately, this is a little bit beat up. I don't know if I bought it like this, but anyways, from Quest, this is I think this is the Super Famicom, yeah, 95, so this will be the Super Famicom tracks. This is probably my favorite soundtrack of all time. Well, at least the PSP edition is. These sounds are pretty good too, but the PSP remastered one is just amazing. Hitoshi Sakimoto and was it Masaharu Iwata, I think, did the soundtrack for this. But I got this from a hard off, and you know, hard off, pretty good for this kind of stuff sometimes. Lovely art, wonderful game. This is a game that has always stuck with me over the years. I think I played this when I was in junior high. I've always had the music and the kind of set pieces from the game. I think I got the canon ending, which is actually not a really good ending. It's actually very depressing. But wonderful game. I would love to do something about the Ogre series. There's only like one Japanese only Ogre game, which is on the Neo Geo Pocket, which, same problem with Solatorobo, I can't capture footage for that. And I just don't do emulation, I don't know, so... yeah, wonderful soundtrack. I want to do something called Ogre Timber, and get a few people on board for that. Maybe we'll talk about all the Ogre games, but maybe next year. But speaking of ogres, Ogre Timbers, and Ogre things, here's the soundtrack to Ogre Battle 64, and another wonderful soundtrack. I don't believe that any of the guys in the previous soundtrack worked on this, but it still has great music, and this game itself, whenever I see the art or hear the music, it just takes me back to a certain time in my life when this came out, and kind of gave up on the N64, but this was a game I was really excited and looking forward to. This game I got the terrible ending, because I think they base it on how many chaos points you have, which they don't ever tell you how much you have, but I got it for murdering monsters who wanted to kill everybody, and I got the bad ending, where you become an outcast, and your nation crumbles within like 5 years or something. So, whatever, wonderful game, Magnus Gallant, you always have a place in my heart. Play some of that music too. Alright, and another kind of a weirder thing to talk about is I have some card-ass masters and trading card collections. No, not these Goemon cards, not these Suikoden cards, but these. Went a little bit too far. These are some Chrono Cross trading card game cards, and you see I got a little shiny one of Kid over there. I have almost a full set, but I only found out about these very recently, maybe within the last couple months. And they're very cheap and very... not very easy to find, but they're kind of plentiful online anyway. But I have almost a full set. I'm missing a few. I don't really care if I get all the little Kita shiny cards, but I would like to have the full set, just because I love Chrono Cross, and I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it many times here on this channel, but I like Chrono Cross better than Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Cross merchandise is, I think, a little bit harder to come by than Chrono Trigger these days. But yeah, so there's some things over there. Next up, starting to lose my voice here. It looks like I've been doing this for almost an hour. Here's something that no one's going to care about, but I thought they're kind of cool. Some video game t-shirts. These were actually birthday gifts from somebody, and you can see over here it's little Mario Brothers. Top, the King of Games. Okay, King of Games is like a power block for a tag, officially licensed. And yeah, Japanese extra large, which is like a kind of US medium, I guess, or maybe a US large sometimes. Keep jumping, keep running, never stopping. Thank you. But yeah, the King of Games, I think, is a shop in Kyoto. At least that's where the person who got me these bought them from. And yeah, a little shop in Kyoto. I think it's relatively well known. I've never been, but I'd like to go. Here's a little Donkey Kong one. Sorry, there's some kid screaming outside. I don't know how well the mic's picking that up. But how high can you go? Pretty cool. And they have a little, there you go, a little King of Games logo here on the bottom of the butt part. Donkey Kong Jr. And let's see, what was the tag for this one? Another power block, kind of boring. Like where that Mario is. And I think the coolest one I got for this set, also from the King of Games, is this Super Famicom art style. Kind of like the box of the Super Famicom games. Video game evolution with the Super Famicom. I don't know about that part, but this has a cool little tag too. Little antenna block. And yeah. I don't know, they were kind of cool. The little butt part over here has this little cartridge that says the King of Games. And yeah, they even came with kind of cool little boxes. Here are the two, here's the Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong. I don't think there's any difference. But they're like kind of like little Famicom style boxes. And here's the Super Famicom one, which also done in the style of that classic Super Famicom aesthetic. It even has the same kind of colors as the actual box. So there you go, system and shirt. Cool, right? I don't know. I don't want to wear those things too much because I don't want them to get worn out quickly. But I'm sure they're pretty high quality because I think they're pretty expensive. Alright, next thing. And this is something I won't really play around with too much, but this is a Super Donkey Kong. Let me move this out of the way. with this 3DO. Alright, so Donkey Kong Gura Gura game, and I'll just have to take a picture of it later. It's too big, but as you see, it's a little shaking tower game. Shaky tower. Gura Gura is like kind of shaking. I want to say that if you're interested in how to play this game, look up Shaky Pizza Tower game. But this is an old Donkey Kong Country. Oh, it has a noise and lights up too with batteries. Little Donkey Kong Country Shaky Tower game. And I think Nintendo still, well, they still license this out. They have Shaky Tower games for modern Mario games. But I have another one of these, but it's not complete, for Super Donkey Kong Country. And I also have a Super Mario World one, so it's pretty old. Fortunately, those are not complete, but basically it comes with a little tower here. And to take this out, it's going to sound annoying, but sorry. And there's the pieces. I think this one is complete, actually. Little Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong at rest on the top, dice, and little allies of Donkey Kong that you move up tower. But yeah, pretty cool. Something I'm never going to probably play with anybody. Unless somebody here is man enough to come over and play with me. Donkey Kong Shaky Tower. Next thing, this is related to Nintendo. But I got something that's I was actually surprised to find, is a little Nintendo GameCube cable. Kind of weird looking. This is not standard Nintendo. This is are they an HD cable? But yeah, this is a D-Terminal, D-Tanshi cable for the GameCube. And you know, the component cables are a big thing with the GameCube. I guess these days it doesn't really matter because there's so many HDMI solutions out there. But yeah, this is a way to get better picture quality from your Nintendo GameCube if you have one that has the out for it. I guess I wouldn't say it's HD. I'm not very technical. I gotta educate myself with that My Life in Gaming a little bit more. But yeah, it gets really nice crisp quality picture from your GameCube. I used to have component cables for the GameCube. I actually had 3 sets, but I sold those way long ago for not a lot either. So I didn't really care to make that much money off of it. But yeah, I'll keep these though, and they'll plug right into my FrameMeister. It looks great. So with those cables, I found a cute little limited edition GameCube. This is the Hanshin Tigers 2003 edition. Central League Champions. I don't really know about that, but yeah, the Hanshin Tigers. You can see over here, it's a little bit discolored at the top. Well, you can't really with that. Kind of looks like a little baseball uniform. Yeah, Hanshin Tigers. I remember having a little bit of history with them because they would train in my old city. But not a real big sports guy or a baseball fan. I came with a little Game Boy player, no disc. But I don't know. I'm kind of a snob. It doesn't have the box. I didn't pay much for this at all. I won't tell you how much because you're probably like, whoa, I can't believe you paid that little for it. I'll probably just do a giveaway, I think, sometime. I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care to own this. I already have a couple of GameCubes anyway. So maybe you'll be seeing this in a giveaway sometime in the future. But I thought it was kind of cool because you don't really see too many limited edition GameCubes. I think there are like a couple in Japan that are different color, like the Tales of Symphonia one. I think there's like a Gundam Char Red edition. But yeah, now I'm just rambling. So next, this is a little teacup here from the Cotton series. And I actually bought this when I was in Akihabara a few months ago when I met up with my friend Jared, Avalanche Jared from Avalanche Reviews. I think he was like, why are you buying this? But it was cheap, you know, it had a whole bunch new at Beep in Akihabara. And there you go, little, I don't know, just kind of a, this is a regular teacup. I know there's like some really rare teacups from Cotton. This is not one of them. I believe this is a brand new, newly manufactured one. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's kind of neat to have one of these things and put it on the shelf. And you know, if I ever want to drink tea or shochu or some sort of alcohol, I'll put it in here. Why not? Just gotta dust it out. Yeah, Cotton. Wish I had some Cotton games, which I don't actually own any anymore. Next thing is a little LCD game of Galaxian. Galaxian from Namco, and I'll just pop it open over here. And Galaxian, for me, I'm more of a Galaga fan myself, but Galaxian kind of important to me because I think when my mom and dad were dating, they would play this in the arcade, is what they told me when I was young. But I don't know if how well it shows up. But let's go ahead and... There you go. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but... Not exactly the most riveting game. Especially on a little LCD keychain, but... I guess it would have been cool back then. Anyways, reset. Goodbye. At least it works, right? But yeah, that's Galaxian. I kind of have a thing for these old LCD games. I always wanted to do a video on them too, but I probably should have a few more before I make it into a big thing. And, getting to the end. Thank God. It's another figurine that I actually pre-ordered, and I got from the same store that I got that Bayonetta and that Beat from Jet Set Radio. But this is Chun-Li battle costume. I guess this is her Street Fighter V, one of her costumes. The Street Fighter Bishoujo statue. It's a series from, what's his name? I want to say it's like Shunya Yamashita or something like that. Oh, yeah, Shunya Yamashita. And he just does these kind of Bishoujo statues. A lot of them for like Marvel. Sorry, not sure if it's showing up very well. But damn, it's a really, really nice looking figure. There's a lot of these. Did a lot for like Marvel and DC. And back in the day, I had a couple of these. I still have one Street Fighter one of Poison. Controversial figure in gaming, right? Damn, look at those legs. But yeah, very, very Chun-Li-esque. I don't have Street Fighter V, nor do I really care to play it, but I do like Chun-Li. I like Street Fighter 2, and I just thought it would be kind of cool to have this. I've not opened it yet, and I think it'll be too much of a pain to open it up here, so I'll just I'll leave it in the box for now and keep it on my shelf forever. And the last thing I'm going to talk about here, stack of games. 1 second. And mainly what I've been kind of collecting for recently is like MSX stuff, and I've not really been going out and hunting for games, but been trying to find cheap deals on like Yahoo auctions and stuff like that. So these are a lot of stuff that I found in Yahoo. If not, I'll just kind of mention otherwise, but these are a bunch of MSX and MSX2 things. First I'll talk about is Aliens, or Alien 2 from Square. And this is actually the video I'm working on now. Proper Import Gaming for the Win episode. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's an old Square before Final Fantasy game on the MSX. And a lot of interesting people worked on this, and hopefully you'll watch my video, enjoy it, and learn a little bit about this game if you don't know about it already. But yeah, come with an instruction manual. A little bit there. I'll feature all this in the video, and a little MSX card. And yeah, it's an interesting game. I'm not going to say much more, but I hope you guys will look forward to that video. And yeah, I think it'll turn out pretty well. It would have been done already, but a little bit of lack of motivation, a little bit busy. And I'm also collaborating with somebody, and I'm waiting for him to kind of finish his part before I really kind of go all in. But I think it'll be worth it in the end. The next 3 things, I'm going to cheat here and count it as one thing. But this is the Ashgine Trilogy from Panasonic. So 3 games here. Maybe this Aliens over there, Cotton over there. So 1, 2, 3, and it's a trilogy of games about this character Ashgine. The first one is the what is it? The Densetsu no Senshi, so the Holy Warrior. Weird kind of sci-fi vibe to it, kind of story. 2 kind of rival clans on a planet. It is having war. Things happen, and one of the leaders from one clan and somebody who's kind of high up in the other one have a kid. They're murdered, and the little half whatever kid who's kind of freaky looking, Ashgine, has to avenge their death. The first game is a kind of a side-scrolling type of game. I've never really gotten too far in it because I can't figure out how to advance in it. It's not exactly the game that has too many guides either, but love the style, good music. Look at this manual. Look at it. Pretty cool. I like that Ashgine is kind of ugly. You don't see too many, especially Japanese games where like the main character is so ugly. But I think this is kind of like, I want to say it's almost like Panasonic's mascot for the MSX. Their brands of MSX computers. I've seen the character featured on at least one of their models. But this is Ashgine 2. I want to say that all the developers are different for them too. But 2, I featured this in a stream, in that 3DO stream at the end. I just played MSX games. But a pretty cool game. This is Ashikine Story 2, Koku no Gajo. I guess, yeah, Gajo. Which is I don't know, like Tower of the Abyss, Citadel of the Abyss. And yeah, it's a MSX2 game just like the first one. Slightly upgraded, better looking, better playing. Developed by NiER Soft. And I think they're the ones who did Highlight. But take a look at this over here. Kind of a cool manual. Not quite as neat as the first game one, but because of the advertisement for the third game. And opens up, and here you go. I think these were released in the same year, maybe simultaneously. Registration card, and here's a little package with the game in it. So there you go. Ashikine and the Citadel of the Abyss. I think. Don't quote me on that. And then the last one here is from Microcabin, and this is Ashikine Story 3, Fukushu no Hono. And yeah, I know it's like a more of a top-down, almost like Zelda 2, where you run into people and then you move to the screen, but it's all top-down, very difficult. I didn't really get too far in this either, but you could die in like the first area. It's kind of weird Microcabin's doing this, but you'd expect like you can die in the first screen being a thing for NiER Soft with Highlight, right? Oh yeah, here's a little ad for the game we just looked at, and a little baggie with the cart. And I buy mostly MSX carts because my I've had too much trouble with diskette things. It'd be too long for me to go into it, but all my diskette woes on the MSX. All right, put this one away over here, and next game is a kind of a cool game, Shiryo Sensen War of the Dead. And I actually have this on, I have a version of this for the PC Engine, but it's still in a shrink wrap. And this is the original. I don't know what year this came out, late 80s maybe. Kind of like one of the first survival horror games, at least one of the real prominent ones, 87, there you go. And yeah, it's you know, speaking of Zelda 2 earlier, it's kind of like a Zelda 2 style horror action RPG game. Really cool graphics, cool gameplay. Looks neat music. Very hard though. I've never gotten really far in this one either. And also to save, I think just like maybe one of the Ashikine games or both of them, you need to have a cassette recorder to hook up to your MSX. So if you die in this game, it's like straight to the start. What's kind of cool about this game too is like there are like night cycles and everything, but neat. I mean, I'd really like to put more time into this one, but I probably should get a cassette recorder first. Or emulate, but I'm not going to be doing that. Next thing I got over here is another MSX game. This is Castle Excellent. And look at that gorgeous artwork. Castle Excellent from ASCII. And take a look at that over here. And if you look at it and you're like, hey, I kind of know this game, it's because this was released in the States as Castle Quest. And the name is just, there was The Castle, the original one, I think it was just for MSX, but Castle Excellent in Japan. There's actually a Castle Quest game, I think Hudson made it. But this is just like the Nintendo Famicom game, but you can't attack. You don't have any sort of like direct attack. In that game you had like knives or like a little sword. This one you just have to jump over people and push things on their head or crush them with barrels and stuff. Look at that, somebody actually started drawing the map. But yeah, a little action puzzle game with yeah, big castle. I think there's maybe 100 rooms in it. Some different art on the cartridge, which is kind of cool. But I grew up with the NES version of this game, and I don't know, I really like it. The music's stuck in my head. I think it's been stuck in my head for nearly all my life. But Castle Excellent, kind of hard. And I think you can get stuck, so you really do need to kind of memorize the layout of the castle. Next is classic game, R-Type. Look at that really cool cover art. I guess that's probably the first boss, I don't know. But R-Type from IREM, which I think IREM is a very underrated company. Pretty much all of their games I've ever played have been pretty solid. But R-Type for the MSX, and as you probably know about MSX shooting games, is that they tend to run pretty slow because the scrolling is so weird. There's no smooth scrolling kind of built into the system. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good game. I think it runs better than Gradius, but it is a little bit harder, and it's way harder than the standard Gradius, or not Gradius, but R-Type games you play on like a PC Engine or a Nintendo Famicom, whatever. Here's the cart. Oh, they always have these holes, right? R-Type, and it even came with a little sticker. But yeah, not really much I can say about it. It's R-Type, but on MSX. It's I think one thing that's kind of bullshit about this game is that sometimes it's hard to see the bullets when there's too many things going on screen. Some of the bullets kind of go invisible, so that tends to happen a lot. It's kind of a theme too with the MSX games, is a lot of them are kind of bullshit. Which, speaking of bullshit, here's one. This is Batten Tanuki no Daibouken, which is then the Raccoon's Great Adventure. And look at that cover art. Isn't that just weird and adorable? You'd think this is like a Jack Hanna game. But I bought this because I saw it was from Technosoft, World of Technology. And I thought it was kind of neat to have a Technosoft game from before they were doing like Thunder Force and all that. But I love Technosoft. I've even covered 2 of their games here on this channel. And that would be Q-Tenkai and Neketsu Oyako. And there's a bunch of other games that I have for Saturn and PS1 that they did that I'd like to talk about. I never have enough time. But I got this at Mandarake in Akihabara when I was on that trip with when I met up with Avalanche Jared. And I think it was like 30-something bucks. I thought it was like a nice little gamble. It looked cool from the back of the box. It looked like a cool action platformer, but since it's MSX, you should really keep your expectations low. I love the MSX, I love the games, but you gotta keep your expectations pretty low for these games. But here's the manual, which has a cute little poster of the cover. Little raccoon. Little picture here, which this is not from the MSX version, I'll tell you that much. It's probably from one of the other PCs, like 98 or something. But yeah, and just a little storyline here. I think you gotta go fight some wolf and something like that. Find your friends. But yeah, you're a kung fu raccoon dog. And I don't know, I guess I'll show gameplay footage here, but it's really awful. I don't really know what to say. If I was a kid and I got this game, even if it was a gift, I think I'd be very disappointed. Or too stupid to know the difference between this and like a Mario. But yeah, interesting game, I'll put it that way. I like the cover art, and that's about it. Next up, MSX game, one of the Sony published games, Kiki Kai Kai from Taito, based on the arcade game, and I think most people would, outside of Japan, would know this as Pocky and Rocky, but this is Pocky minus the Rocky. Just a port of the arcade game, really cool package design. There's a port that I also have for the PC Engine of this, and that game is a lot better. And let's see, let's take a look at the cartridge. Sony. You notice Sony is going to have some boring cartridges, but let's take a look at this manual. It's a little kind of like Sugoroku kind of manga thing. Play a little board game. That's kind of neat. But yeah, this is very simple instruction manual, simple operation. Not the worst port, but it's a little bit rough. Like a lot of these arcade ports on MSX. A little bit rough. I also don't like this cover art. Something weird about it. I think it's because her eyes are just, she has no whites. You can't trust somebody with no whites in their eyes. Alright, here's another Sony published game. This is Gal Force, Defense of Chaos. And based on, like I said, an anime from the time. And I've never watched it, but it's kind of cool looking, I guess. And you get a little bit of Bubblegum Crisis vibes just from looking at it. Somebody in the chat or the comments will tell me I'm stupid. Well, either way. But look at that. HAL Laboratory. It's before they were bought out by Nintendo making games like Kirby. But you look in the back, you're like, oh, sweet, that looks amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think that I've ever seen that. I've never seen that screen in the game. I'm not even sure if it is in the game. But I don't know if it's going to focus or not. There we go. But yeah, you play as one of these girls, and they have different ships. And so it's just kind of a regular old shooting game. Sorry about that focus. I don't know why it would not focus in. Yeah, it's like a very simple shoot 'em up, vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. Some kind of interesting concepts about switching characters and saving characters. Gal Force, boring Sony cartridge. Also, like, you can go from space to like on the planet's surface, and it really, kind of neat. I had a lot of fun playing it. I'm not very good at it, but you have to be good at one of these games to enjoy it, right? And here you go. One of these fold-out instruction manuals that make it a pain to show on a video like this, especially when everything's so zoomed in. But yeah, I don't know, this anime looks pretty rad. I don't know if it's the same game, but just a port, but I know there's a Famicom disc system version that HAL also worked on for this. And I'm gonna guess that one's a little bit better than this, because it's on a real video game system, you know. But yeah, that's Gal Force. And related to HAL, because HAL made this too. This is Ninja-kun, what is it? Ashura no Sho, and Ashura's chapter. But I kind of bought this mainly for the cover art because I'm shallow like that. But Ninja-kun, I can't remember what this was called in internationally, but these came out for like the Nintendo outside of Japan. But this is a port of the arcade game, I believe. Another HAL game. Actually, I thought this game was kind of awful when I played it, but it's actually a pretty faithful port. I mean, HAL's a pretty talented company. They're doing a lot better than Technosoft during this era. But yeah, cute game, really neat graphics. I kind of like the Ninja-kun games, even though they're not the best. Kind of wanted to do a video on one of the game series at least. But yeah, unless I get fired and go full time, that's never gonna happen. Even if so, we'll see. Fingers crossed that I get fired. Next thing, Penguin Wars. And played this a little bit on that stream that I was talking about with 3DO and also MSX. And it's just kind of like a little bit of a dodgeball, kind of ping pong type of mix from ASCII. And I guess this was released, I think, on the NES and like the Game Boy. But cute little game, fun. I actually really enjoyed this game. When you get to like the last person, it's cheap as balls. But yeah, good game. If I ever do a Chibi-sode thingy, I might want to compare this to whatever other versions were out there. There's actually a Penguin Wars 2 for the MSX that I'd like to get, but that one is like $200. Here's a simple classic Game Center, Namco Game Center series, Galaga, which talked a little bit about Galaxian earlier, but really like Galaga, as you can see here. I'll show some gameplay footage of it later. The color palette's even weird on the MSX. I don't know, could they not handle the color palette from the arcade game? Very simple game, but yeah, cool little cartridge. I love Galaga. I love any version of Galaga I can get. I do like these little Namco or Namco Game Center series releases because they'll have kind of a uniform look. And it's kind of neat playing MSX versions of Namco arcade classics because, like I said, the colors are a little bit off. I guess they play a little bit different. This game plays pretty much true to the... Actually, they've all played pretty much true to the arcade version. They just take a hit in the graphics. I don't know why that's appealing to me, but it is. It's just play modern PC games and play them on potato settings. Alright, here's another Namco game, Dragon Buster. Wonderful artwork. I love that. Kind of a boring looking character. He looks nothing like that in the game too. But yeah, Namco's like my second favorite video game company, so anything that says Namco, I'll probably pick it up because I'm a sucker like that. But I guess there's a series of these games for Famicom, and I think they play pretty well. They're pretty cool. And my friend Rewind Mike likes these games. This MSX version is, well, it's cute. The way he swings his sword is real cute. I'll show that in a second, I guess, here, after I look at this manual. Swings his little sword and everything, and oh, it's just adorable, but it's really hard, and I don't know, I've gotten past the first boss a few times, but when I was capturing footage for this, I couldn't get past it, and I was like, well, I died a couple times. Whatever, who cares, I'm not going to kill myself for this game. But yeah, cute game. Maybe I'll put some more time into it, maybe get better at it. Get good, as the kids say. And got a few more games, and then I'm done. I'm sorry. Sorry for wasting your time. If you're getting to this point, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is Mugen Senshi Valis, and the Valis series. Really love the Valis series. Another chick with a kind of armor and swords. 80s anime chicks with swords and bikinis. It's my thing. But this is I think it's a wonderful series. The games honestly are usually not very good, objectively, but I really do enjoy them and I like them a lot. This game, however, is terrible. This game is nothing like the original Valis, other than there's a girl with swords. But I'll just go over and look at this stuff real quick. Recording. Uh-oh. Looks like my camera's gonna die on me, but let me just look at this manual real quick. Alright, cool. Little baggie over here. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of got a weird weird kind of finish. It looks almost like a bootleg, but kind of neat. But yeah, this game just really poorly programmed. There's a lot of chaos. Enemies flicker. Bullets are kind of like going on and off screen. Not good at all. Valis for the MSX. Complete nightmare. And let me turn off my camera. Well, you know, I was talking for so long that my memory ran out of my camera, so I had to take a second and dump the footage and restart here. So right at the very end too, a little bit verbose. What is it? The brevity is the soul of wit. That's all I gotta say about that. Last three things I wanted to talk about here, and can't do MSX stuff without a little bit of Konami. So here is Gradius 2 or Nemesis 2 for the MSX. And you know, I already have the first game, and it's pretty good. I like this box. I like it's big. It's kind of got the silver glare to it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not quite as good as Salamander for the MSX, which is also really not the best shooting game. It's not as smooth as R-Type, which I talked about earlier, but yeah, it's Gradius 2. It's got some kind of neat graphics and neat kind of images to it. Yeah, but yeah, Konami games on MSX are usually a pretty safe bet, even like the games that don't really run that well, like these shooting games. But yeah, as far as like being disappointed, I don't think I've been disappointed by anything from Konami on the MSX yet. And this is probably one of my favorite games from Konami on the MSX, and that is NiER, or Majou Densetsu, or Demon Castle Legend. And see, not really in the best shape, but it comes with the box and everything. I'm a kind of a snob for complete in box. But yeah, it's a little kind of run and gun vertical scrolling shooter. And you play as a little knight guy. You pick up knight-based sword-based weapons and everything. Really cool. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of like a King's Knight from Square, or what is it called? Shinjinrui, or the new type, Dino Riki. But yeah, really fun game. And yeah, I'm gonna probably stream this sometime. Did I stream it the other day? I don't think so. But yeah, really fun game, and I think pretty much everybody already knows about this, so no need to do a video on that. And I also got the sequel, so Majou Densetsu 2, which there are 3 games in this series total, I think. This is the MSX version, probably the original. There's also a Famicom port of this. I don't know, maybe it got released in the United States and in Europe as well. Or the Maze of Gallius. And look at this over here, and I know Konami used to rip off a lot of movie pictures and everything, but I'm wondering if this is it looks like Willy from Indiana Jones 2. I'll probably put up a picture here for comparison so you can determine that, but it looks like her in that movie. Maybe that, or a little bit of I don't know, Val Kilmer and Willow, I don't know. But yeah, this is Gallius no Meikyu, so Maze of Gallius. And it's the second game in the Majou Densetsu games, but what you'll notice for this series is that the genre for each game changes each time. Instead of being a run-and-gun shooter, this is a maze-like action RPG. And it's pretty cool. You can switch between 2 characters. It's just a color swap, really, between them. Very difficult, kind of like that game Castle Exit I was talking about. You really kind of have to memorize the path of this dungeon, or this castle. And yeah, it's really cool. The last game is called Shalom. Shalom. It's like more of a traditional RPG. and I'd like to pick that up sometime too. But pretty cool game. Maybe I'll put this on a stream sometime too. Maybe if I ever do that 24-hour stream I keep talking about. And yeah, that's about it. So those are all the things that I got. Not every single thing I've gotten over the past 6 months here in 2018, but pretty happy with what I have. Thinking about it now, probably drinking that beer in the beginning was probably a bad idea, because I'm very, very rambly. And that wasn't the first beer I've had today. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, if there's anything that caught your eye. I'll do another one of these in the winter. At least that's the plan. And again, Magical Poppin', thanks so much to Michael from Space Asylum for hooking me up with this game. I'm not the most expressive person in the world, but I'm very happy. I'm beaming right now, you know? But I hope you guys would check out his channel. I've already tried to direct some people there before. Yeah, just my thanks to him, of course, not just, like I said, I shout him out anyway. But if you guys could check out his channel, if you like what you like, sub, it would mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much, and I'll work on a real video now, hopefully. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching again. Take care, guys. Aloha.